Say hi.
I live with the man.
What? He's my best friend.
A trusted babysitter turned into a monster. An innocent child lost his life in the most brutal way imaginable. And a young mother, already alone in the world, was left with nothing but grief, guilt, and rage. This is the chilling true crime story of Kimora Hodges, the Michigan babysitter convicted of murdering a toddler. A case so disturbing, so heartbreaking, that even detectives said they will never forget what they saw that night. But this isn't just the story you watch in the headlines. This is the side the media never told you. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear will shake you to your core.
It shook him up pretty bad, but they said that's just a bit of what she did to him.
The mother with no family. I'm only 18. I don't have a mom. I don't have a dad. I don't have any family. It's just me and my baby. That's my only blood relative I have. I'm so hurt that she did this to me. Those are the broken words of Taylor Starks, a teenager trying to raise her baby boy completely alone. She had no safety net, no parents to call for help, no family to lean on. At just 16, she got pregnant. The baby's father was sent to prison before the child was even born. While other teens were thinking about parties and spring break, Taylor was thinking about diapers, formula, and how to keep the lights on. Every morning at 4 a.m., she woke up to her son's babbling voice. Not crying, babbling. Because even at 23 months old, Kyrie was special. He could already count to 5. He knew his ABCs. He said, please and thank you. His little hands clapped in excitement when he reached number 5. Taylor was proud. Her son was everything she lived for. To support him, she worked 2 jobs, patients by day at a hospital, waitress by night in a bar. The bar wasn't glamorous. Drunk customers, sticky floors, cigarette smoke. But it paid $15 an hour plus tips. Enough to survive. Enough to dream about a future for Kyrie. But then came the neighbor, meeting the babysitter. It all started one stormy night in Roseville, Michigan. Taylor heard shouting in the hallway above her. A man's voice angry and loud, a woman crying, doors slamming. Out of concern, she opened her door. There stood a young woman, holding a baby girl around Kyrie's age. The child had no socks, no shoes, just a diaper and a t-shirt ready to be carried into the rain. Taylor felt something stir in her heart. She saw herself in that girl, young, struggling, overwhelmed. She stepped forward. If you want, you can come in here. Don't take your baby out like that. I've got diapers. I've got a onesie. Calm down inside, the girl accepted gratefully. Her name was Kimora Hodges. That night was the beginning of something that would end in disaster. A few days later, Taylor found a handwritten note on her door, a thank you from Kimora. And slowly, neighbors turned into friends. Young mothers bonding over struggle. Taylor trusted her. She had no reason not to. Building trust, Kimora seemed sweet. She carried groceries for elderly neighbors. She smiled in the hallway. Her little girl played with Kyrie. The toddlers laughed together, chasing each other around the apartment. And when Taylor's shifts grew longer, Kimora offered help. I can watch Kyrie while you work, she said. My daughter needs a playmate anyway, and I need the money. It felt perfect. Kimora lived right upstairs. No traveling, no strangers, just another mother. Taylor agreed. Instead of paying cash, they decided Kimora could simply take half her nightly tips. Convenient, practical, built on trust. Kimora even played the role well, sending videos of Kyrie playing, photos of the kids eating snacks, sleeping peacefully with heart emojis. But behind the photos, something darker was happening. Warning signs. In mid-May, Taylor noticed the first bruise. Small, on Kyrie's arm, What happened? She asked. Oh, he got his arm stuck in the crib, Kimora replied casually. Taylor hesitated. Cribs aren't designed for arms to get stuck. But Kyrie was a climber, and the bruise was small. She let it go. 2 weeks later, another injury. This time, Kyrie's lip, swollen and purple. He slipped in the tub, Kimora said quickly. Taylor's instincts screamed that something wasn't right. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me something happened? She demanded, but again she doubted herself. She was young. She had no family to give advice. Could she really accuse the only person helping her? By the end of May, Taylor started pulling away, asking other friends and neighbors to babysit, trusting Kimora less and less. But on June 13th, with no one else available and her shift hours away, she made a choice that would haunt her forever. She handed her son to Kimora. Just one more night.
I would have never done this to her and her baby. I would have never hurt her.
The fatal night. At 10:30 p.m., while Taylor worked at the bar, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Kimora. Long, rambling, strange. She claimed Kyrie had eaten a bar of soap, that he was sneaky, hard to handle, that she was raised differently, and his behavior bothered her. Taylor frowned. Eating soap? Kyrie had never done that before? And why was Kimora so angry about a toddler being curious? She texted back, "It's fine, I'll figure something else out." But Kyrie wasn't eating soap. He was already dying. The medical examiner would later reveal, around 10 p.m., Kyrie suffered a massive head injury. His brain started bleeding immediately. He began seizing. One eye bulged from pressure inside his skull. And for the next 3 hours, Kimora sat with his dying body. She didn't call 911. She didn't drive him to the hospital just 2 miles away. She waited. At 1:21 a.m., she finally sent Taylor a photo. Kyrie's face swollen beyond recognition, bruises spreading across his cheeks. Is this how he sleeps? She asked. Allergic reaction. Soap. But this wasn't an allergic reaction. This was murder. The mother's nightmare. Taylor's heart dropped when she saw the photo. She showed it to her bartender, to strangers. Everyone said the same thing. Get home now. A customer offered her a ride. 10 minutes through empty streets, Taylor prayed out loud. At 2:05 a.m., she burst through Kimora's door. What she saw will haunt her forever. Kyrie was on the kitchen floor, his tiny body convulsing in seizures, his eye bulging grotesquely, his lips swollen. "Mommy's here!" Taylor screamed. "Kyrie, Mommy's here!" But there was no response. Taylor collapsed, sobbing, while Kimora had the audacity to put her arm around her and whisper, "You have to be strong. The ambulance is coming. He needs you." The same hands that hurt him were now comforting his mother. When paramedics arrived, Kimora's boyfriend carried Kyrie to the ambulance. Taylor wanted to scream, "Don't touch him!" But there was no time. In the ambulance, she begged, "What kind of allergic reaction is this? What's happening to my baby?" The EMTs exchanged glances. They knew. This wasn't an allergic reaction. This was child abuse. At the hospital. When you arrive at a hospital and they take you straight to a chapel, you know. Taylor didn't know yet, but the doctors did. "This is child abuse," one said plainly. "Severe physical trauma. His brain is swelling rapidly. Without immediate surgery, he won't survive the night." Even if they operated, the surgeon warned, Kyrie might never walk or talk again. He could be paralyzed, vegetative. Taylor was given 30 seconds to say goodbye before surgery. 30 seconds to kiss her baby's swollen face. 30 seconds to whisper, "I love you." He was covered in tubes, his eyes swollen shut. And then he was wheeled away. The cover-up. While surgeons fought to save Kyrie's life, detectives built their case. Taylor's phone revealed everything. Kimora's texts showed lies, anger, and one glaring truth. Not once did she mention calling a doctor or hospital. She only wanted to push the soap story. Meanwhile, police knocked on Kimora's door. They heard movement. She refused to answer. For 2 hours, she barricaded herself inside. At 4:50 a.m., officers forced entry. Kimora sat calmly on the couch, and chillingly, she admitted, "I didn't mean to hurt him that bad. Not I didn't hurt him, but I didn't mean to hurt him that bad." The autopsy doctor, Daniel Spitz, the medical examiner, revealed findings that painted a devastating picture. Taylor had suffered a subdural hemorrhage, a severe bleeding trapped between the brain and the skull. Along with that came cerebral edema, a massive swelling of the brain that can shut down vital functions in minutes. And as if that wasn't horrifying enough, he also discovered retinal hemorrhages, bleeding behind the eyes, often seen in violent or traumatic events. These findings left no doubt that Taylor's death was not an accident, but the result of something far more sinister: homicide. And the most haunting fact, if Kimora had called for help immediately, Kyrie likely would have survived. The first hour was critical, the second still possible, but by hour 3, it was too late. She chose to wait. She chose to lie. She chose to let him die. Justice. After 8 days on life support, Taylor made the impossible decision. She held Kyrie's hand as they removed the breathing tube. He never took another breath on his own. Kimora was arrested and charged. At first, first-degree child abuse, then upgraded to felony murder. She faced life in prison. The trial was long. 3 years of delays, backlogs, attorney changes. But in July 2025, the verdict came. Guilty. First-degree child abuse. Guilty. Felony murder. Kimora showed no emotion. Taylor couldn't even bear to be in the courtroom. This October, Kimora will be sentenced. She will likely spend the rest of her life in prison. Her own daughter will grow up without her mother, just as Kyrie was robbed of growing up at all. Aftermath. Taylor's grief never left. On Facebook, she wrote, "I still don't go a day without thinking about you, Kyrie. I cry more than I ever did. My heart hurts every day. The pain will never stop." In 2024, Taylor became a mother again. She shared videos of her pregnancy, finally able to enjoy the journey. But behind the smiles, she carried scars, emotional and physical. Even her new relationship turned abusive, another cycle of pain, silence, and survival. She posted tearful videos, confessing her struggles, admitting she had nowhere to go. Her story is proof of the cycle so many young mothers face: trusting the wrong people, suffering in silence, fighting to protect their children while battling their own demons. The bigger picture. In 2022 alone, over 11,700 children in America were killed by caregivers, not parents, but babysitters, boyfriends, family friends. People trusted to protect them. This isn't just about one night in Michigan. It's about every small bruise explained away. Every story that doesn't quite add up. Every instinct ignored. Taylor missed the signs. Not because she was careless, but because she was desperate, young, and alone. And that's the lesson here. Not to blame, but to learn. Stay safe. Trust carefully, and never ignore your instincts, even when you can't afford to listen to them. Evil doesn't always hide in the shadows. Sometimes it lives right inside the home, disguised as love, trust, and safety. Taylor's story is a haunting reminder that not every smile is pure and not every promise is real. The darkest monsters often wear the kindest faces. If you found this case as shocking as we did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss another story of crime, betrayal, and truth hiding in the dark. And let us know in the comments, what do you think truly happened on that tragic day? Because in the world of true crime, answers are never as simple as they seem.